Hey, what's good, everybody? Afternoon. Good afternoon, I should say. Hope y'all doing well. Hope today was productive. Hope today was positive. Hope today was successful. If it wasn't, it's okay. There's always tomorrow. So I'm gonna give y'all a few minutes if y'all get on this live. It's an important conversation. It's gonna be a brief conversation because I have to go about my day, but it's definitely something that I wanted to have that I wanted to do days ago. But just been busy. Derek, what's going on, King? He got the wrench in here, so if y'all talking shit, he gonna get y'all the fuck up out of here. So again, I'm gonna give y'all a few minutes to come on this live. If you watch this on replay, type replay down, type your name and where you're tuning in from. I want to talk about Nipsey Hussle just a little bit. Just came from downtown with a meeting with actually the mayor, not me. That's not just me and the mayor, but a meeting with, I was there, the mayor, Jim Kenney in Philadelphia, the African American Chamber of Commerce, and some business owners. It was, a good crowd in there, but it's basically about, they have a quarterly meeting with the mayor that, I attended talking about business opportunities in Philly, how to get contracts in the city. I got some footage I'm gonna put up later of like the mayor and folks in there, so y'all can just see a little bit of what we talked about today. But it's good, actually getting a chance to meet the mayor. That was my first time meeting the mayor and being in a room with him and the commerce director of Philadelphia and just talking about contracts with the city and stuff like that. I gotta go out there, kiss hands and shake, shake hands and kiss babies. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of politicians, but Mayor Kennedy, he's actually okay with me. He don't bother me. But it was definitely a productive meeting. But I couldn't do any other videos. Yes, trying to make these moves. So I couldn't do any other videos though, but I got some content I'm gonna post to y'all later so y'all can see it. But I couldn't do any more videos on YouTube until I at least talked a little bit about this Nipsey Hussle situation. So unless you've been hiding under a rock somewhere or you just don't know what the hell is going on in the world, rapper, good rapper, he's actually become like one of my favorite, lately. Nipsey Hussle was tragically killed on Sunday around, I don't know, was it 3, 4 Pacific time, something like that, which is like crazy. Like when I first heard it, like when I was at my cousin's house Sunday night, we was chilling. I mean, yeah, R.I.P. Nipsey, man. We was chilling and I was at my cousin's house Sunday night. So first I got an alert or something on social media said like he got shot. And I was like, damn, he got shot like 6 times. And then right after that, I'm scrolling and everybody's posting Nipsey died. And I'm like, what? Because my cousin showed like he got on Instagram and he showed me like, yo, what the fuck? I'm like, what? He's like, yo, he died. I'm like, no. I'm like, yo, literally every single post on Instagram was Nipsey, and I'm like, what? I'm like, yo, this shit is like crazy, yo. Like I fuck with Nipsey, like Nipsey, like, and with me and Nipsey. Like, I can't say I've always been a Nipsey fan, but lately I was just becoming more and more of a Nipsey fan. So Nipsey been out for years now, probably like over 10 years now. And, he was kind of like underground, in the beginning. The first time I heard him was probably around 2012 was when I became like familiar with him. Like when he was on, remember he did that song with Rick Ross on the Maybach Music Self-Made. Might have been Self-Made 2 albums, like him, Rick Ross, and Stolly, something like that. That's when I first like heard him. Was like, yo, like I fuck with him, you know what I mean? But I wasn't really like a fan. Like, not saying I wasn't a fan. It's just that I heard Tech Nine was doing corporate sex with a minor kid himself. Yeah, this Tech Nine guy. When I was at the 100 Black Men event on last Saturday, the young boys there was talking about Tech Nine. Not seen that on Instagram, but I wasn't familiar with him. I didn't know who. The only Tech Nine I know was like the other Tech Nine, not the local battle rapper. But yeah, they say Tech Nine was somebody too, but I wasn't really familiar with him. But like at first, I can't say I was like a Nipsey fan at first because like he was kind of underground, more West Coast, and I just I'm like I like the trap music. Like I like especially the last I'm a big '90s of course '90s rap over everything, but over the last 10 years or so, I fuck with the trap music. I fuck with Meek and Jeezy and T.I. and Rick Ross and like that's the type of shit that I listen to. It wasn't necessarily Nipsey per se. It wasn't like even like Kendrick, but I'm not like a huge Kendrick. Even though Kendrick is phenomenal, Kendrick is better than everybody I just named. But I wasn't ever like a huge Kendrick fan. I really like Kendrick, but I'm more of like the trap music, like the Meek and Ross and Jeezy and all that's the type of shit I like. But when Victory Lap came out, Victory Lap is the shit. So that's when I really started like really fucking with Nipsey, and also just what I really started fucking was just watching his interviews. So like he did an interview on the Breakfast Club a couple times. He did an interview on like Tidal, I think, Rap Radar, all that type of stuff. Like once I started watching more of his interviews, that made me want his music more because I was like, all right, Jeezy and all them, I might like them better, Meek, and I may be fans of them better, but I don't hear them talking about the shit he was talking about. Ownership and assets and equity and owning stores in his neighborhood and owning the whole strip mall and the Marathon clothing and co-working space and talking about cryptocurrency. That's when I was like, yo, this dude is on another level. Like seriously, just hearing Nipsey talk about that shit, I'm like, yo, none of these other rappers are talking about that. Like if you watch old footage of him, he was talking about like I'm trying to stay independent. I'm trying to own my masters. You know, we're trying to come back and buy real estate and assets in the hood. Like you don't really hear other rappers talking about that. Like honestly, so that's when I just started fucking with him. And then like right before like his last album Victory that came out, like I was like, this is gonna be like his first major mainstream project where he has a major deal now after doing this thing on the independent circuit. Mortal Technique talks about Hustle, yeah, way better MC, yeah. And I'm familiar with Mortal Technique. I just haven't heard a lot of his stuff. Like I just honestly, I just haven't heard a lot of it. But they say Immortal Technique is the man, but I just haven't honestly heard a lot of it. But that's what made me start fucking with more. So like prior to his last album, Victory Lap coming out, I was like, yo, I want to hear this album. This is going to be like a mainstream album. I got Grammy nominated stuff like that. And then when Victory Lap dropped, I think it was like last year around, I think around February, something like that last year. I was banging that shit. Like that shit was hot. And I'm like, yo, Victory Lap is the shit. I'm like, yo, Nipsey can only go up from now. Only go up from here. Like I was like, yo, I don't see other people talking about because Nipsey's. I want to say like I kind of like me. I'm not as street, of course, but you can see what Nipsey can do both. Like he can talk to people on the street level. You can tell he come from the real street, that real gangbanging. That shit in LA, as you see, is not a fucking game. But then he also has a huge business acumen and smart and talk about ownership and like that's kind of like I see myself kind of in that type of lane. Like I'm not overly corporate in business, and even though I can do that, I just came from meeting with the mayor. But at the same time, like I still can get on that street shit. Like we can get it popping. And I'm not saying I want to get it popping. None of that. I'm just saying like I come from that culture. Like the hustle and everything from me like comes from the street and the block and stuff like that. So, I just see him kind of playing both of that, and that's kind of like how I am, not like overly corporate and stuff like that, and still, not street like if that street shit. Listen, that shit is for the birds. Like anybody on that street shit and still selling drugs and all. Listen, leave that shit alone. Go start a business, get on the internet, start producing content or whatever, and start making money that way. Leave that street shit alone. That shit will get you nowhere. So, with all that being said, like, it's just tragic. It's just tragic, the death. But Nipsey smiling, yeah, Bitcoin done dropped. Follow coin explained in 3 minutes on the Nipsey, man, he was just so ahead of his time. Like, he was just so ahead of his time. But at the same time, and then after he died, of course, we get the conspiracy theories. Was it because of the Dr. Sebi documentary? Now they've caught the person who it was. Was he set up? Was he planning? Was he an informant? They say he was a snitch. Or was it just some gangbanging shit? Was it a hater? Somebody who just was a hater. Somebody who just, one of them people that we see in the neighborhood all the time. Millions of black people get killed, every year from our own community, because of the circumstances that we've been in. Was it either way? I'm not going to say either way. Listen, nobody knows. I don't know. You know what I mean? Could have been a conspiracy. Of course, anything's possible. Could it have just been a guy that was really hating and seen him and they knew he was a snitch and he wanted to come back and just kill Nipsey just to say that or whatever? Absolutely. So either way, I don't know. And I'm not going to go into like conspiracy theories, should we address this stuff in our community and blaming, black folks for our problems when it really wasn't us? No, listen, I don't know, man. Like, I really honestly don't know. Nipsey Hussle, name lifted from 70s can be Nipsey Russell. When I first saw his name, I laughed. Yeah. And Nipsey Russell was before my time. So, like, yeah, I don't, conspiracy, listen, I really don't know, honestly. Like, listen, man, I don't know. But at the same time, like, I just think it's important to talk about because, like, that shit, I ain't gonna lie, like, that shit hit the culture. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what the hell just happened. My phone is on like 16%, so it ain't died, but I don't know. It just like shut off, but looks like we back. But what was I? The fuck was I saying? Make sure y'all can still hear me. Let me know if y'all can still hear me and see me and stuff. Looks like I'm back. I don't know what the hell happened. I'm trying to stop this conversation, y'all. No, I'm playing. What the hell was I saying? See, that made me lose my whole train of thought. I was about to go in. It made me lose my whole train of thought. What the hell was I about to say? Yeah, but yeah, that's all we know. What? And that just messed up my whole train of thought. Like, what was I just about to say? I forget. I forget what I was about to say. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about the situation. Oh, this is what I was gonna say. My bad. That really hurt the culture. It really hit the culture. Like for me, like that shit really like hit home. Like damn, especially for like the millennials. Like I think it hit us something different, like the millennial generation. Especially millennial generation people that come from the streets and got that hustle mentality. I think it really hit us the hardest. You know what I mean? Like I seen some other on Facebook, a few other people older. It was like, I didn't really know who he was until now. This made him famous, blah blah blah. I wasn't familiar with him and stuff like that. Yeah, it definitely feels like 97. Definitely felt like 96, 97. Like honestly, it felt like Pac. Like it really felt like 96 when Pac died. Like it really did. And in one of Nipsey's songs, he says like I'm the Tupac of my generation, which like definitely is. But I seen like some older folks like on Facebook and stuff saying like, "Who was this guy? He wasn't. I didn't know him until now. This made him famous. Blah 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 blah." I'm like, all right, you might have known, not known him, but like to the culture and to like the millennial, to our generation, like he was big. Like this is major. Like this is major. Like Nipsey, like that shit was major. Like that kind of like fucked up my spirit. Like I don't know. Like y'all know me. Like I'm like super ambitious. Like every day when I wake up, like I'm super ambitious. I want to take over the world. I want to do a million things. I want to make $1 billion. Like literally. But like Monday, it was just like I didn't have the same type of ambition. I was just like I don't know. Like, it was kind of like a dark cloud over the culture. Like it was just crazy. It was just crazy. Like literally every post on Instagram, literally every single post was about that. Like everybody's talking about that. Everybody on YouTube, Dr. Boy's talking about it, Tariq talking about it. Every video I see on YouTube, everybody's talking about it. Everything on Instagram, Facebook, everything, the news outlets. I'm like, yo, this shit is crazy. Like seriously, but like I said, I don't want to make this video too long, but I thought I just had to talk about. I couldn't do a damn another video on YouTube without talking about the situation, because like Nipsey meant a lot to the culture, man. Like he meant a real lot to the culture. Like especially dudes that come from those situations. Like most people don't really know what it's like to come from those situations. I don't know what it's like to come from those situations. In gangbang in LA. Listen, Philly's bad. Philly got hoods, but like people ain't dying over colors. Like, you know what I mean? Like people that don't come from that gangbanging life, like that shit is like real. So for him to come from that, especially, and they say like gun violence actually in LA and gang violence is actually down compared to how it was. But y'all know in the 90s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, like that shit was crazy, a million times worse than what it is now. So for him to just come out of that and just be so positive and go back to his community and start businesses in his community, like the shit that I talk about that I want to do, he actually did. Like he actually did, like to actually go back to his community, own businesses and employ people in his community and the culture and co-working space and cryptocurrency and telling people positive stuff and ownership and like, man, he was ahead of his time. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today, y'all. Like I said, I'm not gonna really go into the conspiracy theories and was he set up? Well, listen, anything's possible. We really don't know. They caught the guy, and yeah, Colors was the shit, classic. They caught the guy, and was it the plan? Was it just somebody in the neighborhood? What I don't know. But what I can say is, I'm just so upset that it was so fucking sweet that you could just come up to Nipsey and just shoot him like that. Like, cause I know in Philly, you ain't doing that shit with Meek. There's no way possible some snitch or random guy or somebody Meek don't fuck with is gonna be able to come up to him and shoot him. I'm telling y'all now. Derek, no, we from Philly. You ain't gonna be able to do that shit here. Like, you ain't getting close to Meek. So I'm just saying, I mean, I don't know. Nipsey was a person like of the community. Of course, you know, Meek is too, but I'm saying he's a person that you could tell Nipsey was like probably like, I can be out here without security, and you know, I'm part of the community. I'm in front of my store and blah, you know, stuff like that. Like, you could tell he was the type of person, like down to earth type of person. But like, just the fact, like, that's still Nipsey Hussle. Like, he's still a bull at the end of the day. Like, he ain't no regular person out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the fact that somebody could just come up to him and get that close and just shoot him like that is like, no, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no. But it is what it is, man. R.I.P. Nipsey. You know what I mean? I've been banging his shit on title ever since Sunday. That victory lap shit and all his other shit, man. It's definitely sad. Security definitely was slipping, man. Like, keeping it too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he keeping it a little too real. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to keep it real, but you got him like Nipsey a bull. Like, he ain't no regular person out here. Like, he's a bull. So like, bull shouldn't even been able to get close to him. Like, if you know you a snitch or you ain't wanted around here, like, you can't even get close to my man. Like I said, in Philly, like, I look at him as like, you know, to LA what Meek is to Philly. You ain't getting close to Meek in Philly. If Meek is out in Philly, especially if he's in the hood, you ain't getting close to that man. You always see Meek with 1,000 of his niggas always around him. He always got his squad around him and security and everything. So I know people like that. Like, you ain't getting close to him. But it is what it is, man. R.I.P. Nip. You know, let's just use that to carry on that legacy and carry on everything that he meant. They say Nick Cannon is actually going to make sure that documentary still happens, which is good. You know, if that happens, I hope so. But let's just carry on his legacy. Let's continue to stand for what he stood for, which was ownership, owning assets, businesses, entrepreneurship, financial literacy, investing in the stock market, cryptocurrency, real estate, all that stuff, all the stuff, you know, I talk about and others. So that's pretty much it for you today, guys. Again, if you watch this on replay, type replay down, type your name, type where you're from. Let me know. You know, you can put what you think about Nipsey. Do you think it was a conspiracy? Do you think it was just some, you know, guy in the neighborhood who was a hater? Put your comments down there. Any other questions or business questions, finance questions, put them down there. Like I said, I just came from downtown, so I got some footage I'm going to post in history. Chris Webber started that posse thing and being in the streets amongst the people. All young blacks have been doing it since. Not good. Yeah, like, and I get it. Like, it's kind of the way I look at it is kind of like, you know, two sides to it. You know what I mean? Like, because then people say, like, once you get rich, I don't want to come back to the hood because I don't want to get killed. But it's like, you should be going back to your neighborhood. You shouldn't be afraid to be around your own people. You should be going back and investing in your own community. But at the same time, you do got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? So I just say do it. Don't just run from the hood. Go back to where you're from. But at the same time, do it with precaution. You know, do it with precaution. Make sure your security's tight. Make sure it ain't sweet where you can just come up and shoot somebody. But, you know, R.I.P. Nip. So again, you know, put your questions or comments down if y'all have them. I'll come back and answer them. You know, I'll come back and answer any other questions or comments or anything about Nip. R.I.P. Nip. Like I said, I got some footage from downtown earlier. I'm gonna post up later. Just a few little videos I took while I was downtown. But that's pretty much it, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hope everyone has a great day. Be safe. Let's stay educated. Let's stay investing. Let's stay, you know, pushing ownership and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, just be safe.